Hello, hello, hello. I'm Jessica Yvonne, your Bookbae, coming on with a quick book review today. I hope this video finds you well. I finally finished the book Invisible Man. Now, I started off on another video doing a short review based on what I had read, and I've sprinkled some in another video as well. But now I have finished this baby. It was 581 pages. The writing, the text is kind of small as well, but it was a really, really, really great read. I completely understand why this is considered to be a banned book. It is definitely something that would make you think. It is definitely something that will make you question what are you doing and why you are doing. And it'll make you very self-aware, which, you know, to me is a good thing. We can't all be sheeps, and we should not all want to be sheeps. I was always brought up to think for yourself anyway, but I think it's easy to get off of the beaten path if everyone else is doing something a certain way and you are valued for getting off of the path, or you are incentivized or given things to make you go off of being self-aware or thinking for yourself. And so in this book, this young man, they never say his name, he is the invisible man. He is navigating this world, trying to figure out where he belongs, doing what everyone has told him to do, and really just finding himself lost as he becomes older and he becomes an adult. And as a college kid, it's not till after something major happens that he begins to question his life and question, who am I? What do I want? And why have I allowed people to get me so far off my path? Why have I believed that doing things a certain way would get me these kind of results? But it has all backfired. So this book originally came out in April 14, 1952. That's when it was originally published, and I looked it up online. There's a lot of internal dialogue in the book of the Invisible Man, of him thinking through the process, thinking through his life, thinking about people, thinking about what others think of him. So I think sometimes while reading it, if that's all you're getting is a person's point of view, their perspective, and their inner dialogue, at times I had to put the book down, because it wasn't a conversation he was having with anyone else. It was one he was having with himself. So I will let you know that if that's something that you don't like about a book, then that's something you may not want to read. An interesting fact, the other day I was talking to a colleague, and we were talking about our inner dialogues, and he mentioned an article he had read where it was saying that 30 to 50% of people don't have an inner dialogue. inner dialogue. And when he mentioned, I can't remember what number he said, I went and Googled it because I wanted to look it up, because I thought, really? Because I mean, I have my own inner dialogue with myself, which I just assumed that we all had an inner dialogue. And when I Googled it, it popped up. It said 30 to 50% don't have an inner dialogue, where there's a voice, or there's, you know, them just talking to themselves within their head. I think something else I thought about here is, which we all know, that when we become college age, you know, which is about 18 and older, that although legally we are adults, we're not really truly adulting all the way. Even if we're paying all of our bills, even if we're doing all the things that adults do, we don't all have the wisdom to navigate all the ins and outs. And that's what I thought of when I was reading his inner dialogue, and when he was brainstorming or trying to get perspective. I think I really wanted, what I wanted to see was him reach out to his parents and get some insight and get some wisdom to help him get back on his path. And that never occurred to him. And if it did occur to him, he never really verbalized it. I know he didn't want to worry his parents, but he didn't reach out for instruction either. He didn't reach out to say, is this something that's too good to be true? Why would someone, you know, I think that it's a reminder that how important it is to have guidance still. And I think you can have guidance at any age. I think even when you're in your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, I think that's, I feel like you can glean wisdom from anyone. And I think that's something that seems like was missing from his life as he tried to figure things out all on his own, as he, you know, went over things over and over again in his head. I will leave you with this, because like I said, I've done the review before on here and gave you some tidbits, but at the end I thought this was really good. He says here on page 577, whence all this passion to work conformity anyway. Diversity is the word. Let man keep his many parts, and you'll have no tyrant states. Why? If they follow this conformity business, they'll end up by forcing me, an invisible man, to become white, which is not a color, but the lack of one. Must I strive toward coloredness? But seriously, and without snobbery, think of what the world would be, or what it would lose, if that should happen. America is woven of many strands. I would recognize them and let it so remain. It's winner take nothing. That is the great truth of our country, or of any country. Life is to be lived, not controlled. And humanity is won by continuing to place in face of certain defeat. Our fate is to become one, and yet many. This is not prophecy, but description. Thus, one of the greatest jokes in the world is the spectacle of the whites busy escaping blackness and becoming blacker every day, and the blacks striving toward whiteness, becoming quite dull and gray. None of us seems to know who he is or where he's going. That is so timely. And it's crazy that this book was written in 1952 and so relevant today. And I guess I was just thinking about the ICE raids and just all the stuff you're just seeing on TV and the rollback of diversity, equity, and inclusion, just, you know, removing certain things. It's wild to think that this book from 1952 is so relevant and what's going on today. But yes, if you have time, pick up this book, this banned book. It is an amazing book. Take your time reading it. It is 581 pages. You see I have tabs going through it. But it really makes you think. And as the Invisible Man says here, what makes America great is the diversity, is the many strands woven together, not just being one in one group and that's it. So if you have a moment, if you want to dive into something really good, check this out. This is it. Have a great day. Stay in peace, stay positive, and stay empowered. Take care. Bye-bye.